When we transform a selected component, the unselected components which fall in a particular radius will also get affected with a fall off, and we call this as proportional editing. I'll be covering the proportional editing options in this video. Let's get started. If I have to select any vertex and transform that vertex, you should be able to see the transformation is affecting only that selected vertex. Sometimes when we have too many vertex points and we want to get a particular shape, which is kind of smooth transition, then this normal selection of the vertex will not really help us. So what we can do in that case is you can use the proportional editing, which is here in the top. You could enable that option, and if you click on the drop down, you have few options here. One is the connected only, projected from view, and some other fall off presets, and also you have the radius thing. So when we enable the proportional editing and use any of our transform tools like move, rotate, and scale, the effect can be seen. So I'm pressing G, which brings up this circle, and the circle's radius can be controlled by scrolling up the mouse wheel, or I can use page up or page down keys on the keyboard to increase or decrease the radius of this proportional editing. Now as I'm holding the move tool, and when I move the point, you should be able to see there is a smooth transition in the overall effect. Okay, the result is like a smooth curve, and if you have to do this without proportional editing, it will take time, but you end up not getting a good result. So proportional editing has also, let's try before getting into the other types of fall offs. I'll be using this rotation tool for it. So I'm pressing R, and then I'm going to use let's say Y rotation, and then you should be able to see I'm able to twist that and get that nice complex twisted model there. Okay. Even we can do that by scaling the vertex points. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to select the vertex in the middle, and I'm going to scale it, and then you should be able to see I got that nice pinch or bulge effect in the overall vertex movements. You can do that even for, at the same time, you can use that for the transformation. Okay, let me press G and then Z, and then you should be able to see you get that translation in the Z axis, and you got that nice transition in the overall result. So I'll be using one of the vertex point. I can also use this proportional editing for the faces. Okay, I can do that for the edge also. I can select any edge and then do the same transition. So it works for multiple component types, and also if I have to select a vertex, okay, I'm selecting this, and randomly across the model, and then press G, okay, and then scroll down and then move it, and you should be able to see I've pulled the vertex points from multiple locations of the same surface. Okay, so if I have to talk about the types of proportional editing, I'm going to select this one, drop down, and we have different types. By default we have used the smooth fall off. Let me try the sharp one. Okay, and then press G and Z, and you should be able to see the fall off is like very sharp. Okay, you can also pick the random here, where you get that randomized pull in the vertex points. Okay, so you have different types. Let's say if I'm not using this, and if I've selected the vertex and start moving it, you get some options here for the move operation. And then if you could see, there is a proportional editing feature on, which can be enabled, and you can increase the radius, and you can also change the type of the transition or the fall off. So let's have a quick look on all the fall off types. We have a sphere fall off, the root fall off, inverse square, sharp, linear, constant, and random. Okay, so you can explore all that and see where you can possibly use this effect. We have other options like projected and connected, but before going into that, let me also talk about as I told you, when I select a set of vertex points and use any tool, let's say I'm using the rotation tool, you'll have that transition working for you. So you can enable that after the action of any transform thing you have used there. So let me select the proportional editing. As I told you, I press O on the keyboard so that I enable the proportional editing, and I'm going to select the vertex point, press G and then Z and then move it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Shift O and then cycle between all the transition types we have here and pick the suitable one for our requirement. I'm going to select one of the vertex and I switch this to the orthographic view. I press G and then Z and then move the vertex points. You should be able to see the fall off is happening from that vertex to the center. But when enable projected 2D, the effect is happening from the camera point of view, which can give you a result of this. So projection is basically working from camera point of view. Let's say if I put this in this particular camera view, okay, and then press G and then Z and then move it up, and then when enable projected, and you should be able to see the projection is happening in that camera point of view. Okay, I've got the hand model here. So if you could see in the proportional editing right now, I'll first select the vertex point, and then if I expand, you should be able to see this connected only option. By default it is off. So let me just press G and then start moving, and you should be able to see all the fingers which fall in the circle are getting affected. Okay, if I enable the connected only option and then press G, even I'm going to increase the radius a little bit and then move it, and you should be able to see only that finger is getting affected, and that is connected only because the vertex which are connected along the surface are affected, not the vertex which is separate. Okay, so it will be a great help when doing the character modeling and posing. I got multiple spheres here. I'm going to select this and then start moving this sphere. You should be able to see only one sphere is getting affected. Right now I'm in the object mode. Let me enable the proportional editing, and I'm going to increase the radius there. Okay, now when I move the sphere, all the neighboring spheres are also getting affected, and you should be able to see there is no deformation in the spheres. That means the shape of the spheres are not getting affected, but their placement is getting affected with the transition or the transformation which I am doing. It will be greatly used when you're trying to scatter rocks or objects. Guys, I have made more videos on Blender basics, and I've shared that playlist here. You can check that, and I request you to subscribe my channel and like the video.